One of Trump's closest advisors, Kellyanne Conway, says that Trump doesn't wish to pursue any sort of investigation against the Clintons. That comes on the heels of something that Trump himself said in a recent 60 Minutes interview, where he said that he has other things to focus on as the incoming president, and that the Clintons are basically good people. He seemed to be saying at that point that he was sort of willing to let it go. The Justice Department typically operates completely without influence of the White House or any administration officials. So in some ways, it doesn't necessarily matter what signals he's sending to the Justice Department, because we would expect them to be operating on their own. But there's also another problem, and that's that the sort of lock her up chant became very popular during Trump's campaign. You heard it at almost every rally. It really was sort of a unifying point for his supporters, who would burst into this chant really without much prompting from him. And we're already seeing early signs that there's some discomfort with the perception that he may be going back on his pledge to sort of doggedly pursue the Clintons. Well, the president-elect is clearly wrestling with how to deal with the media going forward. He recently met with television executives and some of the TV celebrities, including Wolf Blitzer from CNN. That meeting was totally off the record. So our account of what happened is coming from leaked sources inside the room. Not exactly the best way to understand what the president-elect is trying to communicate to the media at this point. I think it all depends on what comes out of these meetings. You know, it is very possible that Trump leaves the meetings and explains either on Twitter, perhaps in another video, to his supporters and others, or in some other manner that he was unhappy with how the meetings went. He could very well continue to treat the media as a foil, which worked very well for him during the campaign. So it all depends not just on the meetings themselves, but what happens afterward. What kind of messaging does the president-elect carry forward?